What's your favorite food in India?
Chettinad chicken, like a ghee puri udapam, like will take you places, bro.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, I was up in Amritsar and they're like,
Oh.
how do you like Amritsar? I'm like, I love the culture. They're like, culture, yeah, the Punjabis are great. I'm like, no, the culture. Yeah, it's so on point.
Do you sort of know any like Hindi phrases by now?
Delhi se haban has always stuck with me, no doubt.
We're approaching a new era with Donald Trump coming in place, which could bring in a really pro-crypto space for everybody in the US, right? What inspired you to actually come down to India and Bangalore specifically?
Hundo P. So.
Yeah, so Tony, like, how long in total have you been in the crypto space?
Yeah, I would say like actually working in the space since 2021.
2021.
Yeah.
And what inspired you into this entire space?
One of my like best homies worked at Coinbase,
Oh,
and he was just making like heaps and loads. He was getting paid on Ethereum, and I was like, bro, like I gotta tap in.
Yeah.
Like I need this. So yeah, I mean, at that time I started trading a bit, seeing what was good. I think I really like tapped back in 2020 when more like dApps started coming out, when NFTs were getting super hyped, and then started like doing some consulting in the space.
All right, man. So like little off script now. Let's not talk about crypto little. How is it been in India for you? Like, can you tell us about like your travels? Like, where have you been in India and whatnot?
So like, as my good homies call me, a little city slut. So I've practically been to every nook cranny. I've literally been to Salana village in Rajasthan. Shout out the homies out there. Ram Ram, Salana Kam Haye.
This is a place called Solana, right?
Yeah, it's called Salana village. It's in Rajasthan. It's near Jahunjanu. Good old Jahunjanu. So yeah, it's a really like amazing, serene place. People are incredibly humble, absurdly friendly. It's very on point. So yeah, massive fan for sure. But yeah, no, I've been many places in India. I just actually did a Northeast trip, and I've done up in like Kashmir and Ladakh as well. Done pretty much every major city at this point. So yeah, we've done like 70 plus cities in India. So I absolutely love it. And yeah, I mean, I've only been scammed like once or twice. So yeah, it's been tight.
Is it?
I'll tell you about a couple of the nutty ones. And don't take this like for too hard, because India is truly phenomenal. My parents actually just came to India and they're 70 years old. And my dad is like, he's like mobbing around, like he doesn't even walk so good. But they had a phenomenal time. And I think India Tourism Board does a ass job of marketing India to the world, because India is so sick.
Yeah.
Like the amount of architecture, the history, the food, the people. India's sick. Like it's so dope. And the Western world does not realize that.
Yeah.
The Western world is sleeping on India so hard.
Yeah.
And we need to get that like dope word out there. But I will tell you some nutty scam stories for sure. That's how it run. So one time in Delhi, there was a kid with blood on his hand. He's wiping the blood on my back until I give him money. One time in Hyderabad, there were these 3 guys holding a lead pole. And as I walked by, they dropped the pole to try to hit my head, make me pass out. One time over here in Bangalore by ISKCON, there's these guys who literally wear these crazy costumes, and they whip you and stand in a line like a blockade until you give them money.
Dude, what?
One time in Rishikesh, I was with a girl from Romania, and she had a line of 20 guys trying to take photos with her. She started charging 5 rupees for a photo, made 1,000 rupees that day. It was chilling.
I mean, gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Real talk. One time I was with a British guy, his girlfriend, Indian guy, hanging out the whole day in the Dharamsala, like fire spot, like kicking it. Anyways, at the end of the day, the Indian guy comes up to the British guy. He's like, hey, can you send me some photos of your girlfriend? He's like, absolutely not. Like, bro, what the heck? One time I had a homie, and he's from Hyderabad, and he's moving to the States. And, I used to live in New York, and, was giving him some tips and tricks. And he comes to me, and he's like, so how will girls know I like them if I'm not staring at them for 10 minutes straight? I was like, oh, bruh. I never mind. So I got her if Chennai went.
Let's hear the Chennai story, man.
So I was with that same kid, very sweet, very innocent soul. Anyways, we're on the beach in Chennai. We know it's a little grimy out there on the main beach in Chennai. Chennai does have beautiful beaches, but that main beach is a little,
I know what you're talking
sus for sure. Yeah, you know what's up. Anyways, this auto driver comes up to me, and he's like 5,000. And I'm like, 5,000, like 5,000, like, bro, for what? We're not even like near a road. And I hadn't seen a lot of autos at this point, and I was kind of over them. So I'm just in his face, like, I'm like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna like, he had no teeth, so I was especially inclined. But anyways, my boy's like going back and forth with him like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And I'm like, bro, like what is possibly taking so long? This is absurd. So I just get heated and I'm just in the guy's grill like, ah. And then my boy's like, ice cream, ice cream. Like he wants ice cream. And I'm like, ice cream. Like I want to Jesus. Bro, and let me tell you, I have one more I'll tell you. It's my first day ever in Bangalore.
Yeah.
And this like, let me just tell you this, and then just keep in mind that I moved to Bangalore, shipped my life here after this first day.
Yeah.
So essentially, I come on a bus from Coimbatore. Like, don't ask what my was doing in Coimbatore.
Okay.
Anyways, I asked the bus driver, excuse me, sir, can I put my bag on the bus? He's like, no, no room. I was like, okay, like, put it underneath. Anyways, wake up next morning, all my luggage is gone. I'm like, excuse me, sir, do you know where my luggage is? He's like, no, missing. So I was like, dude, like, what the So wait 10 minutes and I'm like, any luck? Like, what's going on? He's like, I found it, but you have to pay me 6,000 rupees to get it back. And I was like, bro, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
So anyways, negotiated it down, like only paid like a bit. Anyways, I go to step off the bus and I step in a big pile of shit. Then I go to pee and I pee all over my sweater. So it's 6 a.m. I'm not having a good morning. Like things are not going my way. So auto driver comes up to me and he's screaming, spitting in my grill. And he's like, hello, my friend, where do you go? Where do you go? And I'm so furious at this point. I'm just like, get out of here. And he's like, get out hospital? Like, I kid you not, couldn't make this shit up. There's a hospital in Bangalore called Get Out Hospital.
Get out.
Yeah. And then I'm like, no, like, leave. And then I'm like, no, off. And he's like, Charmanoff Hotel? I'm like, no.
I mean, I suppose, welcome to India, bro. That was, but after that though, so that was your first day.
First day ever in Bangalore.
God damn, bro. And after that, you settled in.
Bro, later that day, I was literally like walking around the street crying because one of my like best homies passed away a few years ago, and I was like, he would have absolutely like loved what happened to me. He would have thought it was the funniest shit ever, and he would have thought like Bangalore is so dope, and like would have absolutely loved it. I don't know why that like had clicked in, but sometimes moments in life just hit different for you, and I just literally was like low key tearing up on the street, like, and I just felt like I had found my home.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I feel like you said, right, the vibes are different here.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just culturally that it's different, but now that you've actually set up shop over here and like you're growing something in this space as well. I mean, I genuinely hope that you get to, explore our culture to the max, bro, while you're here.
Yeah. I mean, it's the most culturally fascinating place in the world.
Yeah.
Like Hundo P nowhere even stands close, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, India is just such a peak.
It can be super chaotic for sure.
Yeah. We love the chaos though.
Yeah, you get used to it.
Definitely.
But you do find some sort of peace in that chaos, bro.
Like so much beauty. It was just on the backwaters in Alapi.
Yeah.
Just absolute cheddar vibes. It was just up in Northeast in like Sikkim, Meghalaya, Assam. It's absolutely gorgeous vibes there.
Yeah.
It's so tight. But yeah, man, India's a treat. India's a real one for sure.
Yeah. What's your favorite food in India?
Yeah, I mean, I would say there's a few. I mean, I love a like super dank udappam. Like a ghee puri udappam, like will take you places.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I absolutely love like chettinad chicken, kadai. Like I love ripping. I hit Shivaji Nagar all the time. Shout out the homies at Hamza Hotel. Shout out the homies at Siddiq Restaurant. Their kebabs are so on point. Yeah, they slap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, hit me with a super grimy curry. I love also like Punjabi food, like kulcha.
Yeah.
I was up in Amritsar and they're like, how do you like Amritsar? I'm like, I love the kulcha. They're like, the culture, yeah, the Punjabis are great. I'm like, no, the culture. Yeah. It's so on point, for sure.
Sick. And like, have you heard or do you sort of know any like Hindi phrases by now?
Yeah, my Hindi is a work in progress for sure,
Yeah,
but Delhi se haban chod has always stuck with me, no doubt. But Ram Ram, I'm all about Ram Ram because it's like, what's up? But it's like, we're keeping God in mind. Like, it's very like mindful, very demure. I'm very about that life.
Fair play, man. Fair play. Biggest question that I have, right, and I think most of the audience would have as well, is that you're coming from California, right?
Right.
And US is often considered like the tech hub, and we're approaching a new era with Donald Trump coming in place, which could bring in a really pro crypto space for everybody in the US, right? What inspired you to actually come down to India and Bangalore specifically?
When I was first kind of like pondering ideas, I was talking to my homies who worked at Apple, Google, Tesla, you know, in the Valley. And I was like, come join me. I think we have this opportunity in Web3, blah, blah, blah. They're like, bro, go kick rocks. Like, be over that, dog. So I think that also led me to like, be like, you know, people in the States are so comfortable in their lives. Like they have, like, they live like kings and queens. Like they're chilling.
Right.
They don't have a worry in the world, you know? It really inspired me to go somewhere where people are hungry, where people are, you know, trying to get after it, where people are super motivated to actually like come to the US. And like, if I can, you know, inspire them to like be, you know, building and grinding out here, and then, you know, give them opportunities to work for a US company.
Yeah.
And then I think, you know, down the road, a lot of people, you know, will get that opportunity here to come to the, you know, States. And I think that's their dream. And yeah, people tell me all the time, they're like, why would you come here? It's like opposite dreams. You know, we always want what we can't have, that type of thing. But yeah, man, I mean, I think India is just super dope. It's so fascinating. Like from a cultural standpoint, it's so dope. And like, it really just like opens your mind. There's so much, you know, that exists, so many possibilities. And that's what like traveling and being a nomad is all about as well.
Of course, man, of course. I think something else that I wanted to talk about is just in general, like, where do you think Bitcoin's going, bro?
Oof. For when? For this year?
For this year?
Let's say like 250K.
250?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking like typically with like a 3x, but I think that's a little too much, and it's already, and that's from like the bottom, or you know, the recent bottom. So yeah, I mean, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Let's talk about crypto from an investment standpoint now.
Would not recommend it. But yeah, I mean, I used to rip like 20x's like every like couple days, bro, and it was so grimy. It was so weak. Like I would have days where I'd be up like 30K, like down 20K, up 10K again, like on the
30K.
same.
So we're talking like 30K, like dollars.
Yeah. The swings were like so nutty, like uncontrollable. And I had no idea what I was doing. I was I'm still a terrible trader. Like, yeah, do not take any of that trading advice for real. I'm much more about being a builder, you know?
Dude, so I feel like just to like close off, right, I want to know what's that one golden piece of advice that you would give to anybody looking to enter this space, bro? Like, even if it's not for investing per se, let's say they want to use crypto rather than invest in crypto.
For sure. Well, my biggest advice really is like, you have to tap into the space. You got to listen. You got to have your ears open. And I think you got to like actively compete. Like you got to like try out a bounty, try for a hackathon, try like different protocols, like do a bunch of different quests. So just experiment, sample, talk to people, see what's good, listen, like keep your eyes open. I think like the more you're aware, then the less times you're going to get rugged.
I think a lot of like big population of people over here as well, they don't really understand what a hackathon is, but they kind of
nerd convention.
But they kind of understand that crypto may be a scam more than what a hackathon is. So for that populace, right? Where do you think they should go to find information?
For sure. So I think definitely X, and going to people who, you know, have like notoriety within the space. I think like there's a lot of alpha on like, you know, like some of the top tier Telegram groups. So I think that is for sure going to be on point. I think if you sign up for a lot of like tier 1 exchanges, of course, we're saying like you need to actually come on chain, but you know, for instance, Coinbase does have a lot of great education that they provide to users, and they do it in terms of like quizzes and you know, ways in which, you know, are kind of gamified. and Binance is doing the same. And, so a lot of those protocols, you have to start somewhere. So I think, starting at kind of like the massive like L1s is actually like a sick place to start. And just, there's a lot of boot camps. There's so many boot camps on YouTube, and there's so many YouTubers who are phenomenal to just like listen to, kind of understand what's going on. There's so many podcasts that are super on point where you can kind of get a dope little introduction to it. So I think there's a ton of resources that are out there for sure. It's just, what you go about consuming and, how you go about doing it.
Yeah. And all of this is completely free as well, right? And accessible.
Yeah, you should really never pay for like that type of thing too much. Like Solana does so many like really phenomenal boot camps, typically for young builders, that are all completely free. So yeah, there's really no need to pay for sure.
Well, I think on that note, bro, like I hope your adventure in India continues, and also, this space grows in India with you, bro. I know I'm going to be seeing you around at other events as well. We're just doing this on camera right now, but
For sure.
I'll see you around soon, bro. It's a pleasure, bro.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much.